legend of the phoenix all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning. Love. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cause to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 The present has no ribbon. Your gift keeps on giving. What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with it. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cause to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get. 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 We're up all night to get lucky. 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 She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get lucky.
Hello everyone, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning into the NBA here on 2K Sports. The young NBA season still rich with optimism. It's the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Dallas Mavericks. Enjoy the first half.
Welcome. What an exciting game opening night in the NBA. Let's check out the starting lineups. First for Atlanta, Jeff Teague and Lou Williams, the backcourt. And holding down the middle, a tremendously hard-working and versatile big man out of the Dominican Republic, Al Horford. Then there's Kyle Korver, and it's Millsap in at the 4. And for Dallas, Devin Harris is out there with Ellis. And it's Samuel Dalembert, man in the middle at the center position. Then there's Marion, and it's Nowitzki in at the 4 slot. And here is Ellis.
A lot of high hopes for what Lou Williams could do with a new team last year. They really started off quickly with Atlanta, had some good games, but eventually the season went down the drain with that knee injury in January.
Now Teague, after Devin Harris's three-pointer that didn't go. Korver, good.
You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
On defense, the Hawks. 6-point game. He dishes it to Nowitzki. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And for Williams' quickness, a big part of his game. We'll see how the knee affects his game part.
You know, it normally takes a year or so to get back to playing, 2 years to get back to 100%, but he's signed to a very cap-friendly contract, so Atlanta may be able to weather his loss until he's back to his old self.
And that one falls for Nowitzki.
कैसे हो रहा है इतनी गंदी आवाज कैसे आ रही है आवाज कम कर देता हूँ I'm good guys, I'm good. Thank you.
You know, last season the Hawks were a solid team on the road. Nothing spectacular. Really what you'd expect from a 3 seed in the East. End of the year with a 19-22 road record. Not bad.
Well, Clark, you said it about the Hawks last year, 19-22 on the road. You really need to hover around 500 on the road. Don't you think, Steve, to position yourself for the playoffs?
No question. As long as you can control your home court and get a good record there, then 500 on the road is just fine. But this is a Hawks team that's looking to take the next step to really becoming elite. They've been kind of stuck in the middle for a while now.
और रिसर्च मारूँ कैसे क्या होते हैं गेम लाइव स्ट्रीम कैसे करते हैं कंप्यूटर्स में
Teague for 3. And Dalembert pulls it down. Dallas with the ball. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first game of the NBA's regular season.
Yeah, and you look back to last year, these two teams were very evenly matched. They split the 2 games that they played. Well, he recognized the advantage size-wise, and he went right at the defender. That's how you do it.
It's Williams with the drive. Korver. Good. Great play by Williams to shut it up. Korver's got 9.
Man, oh man, Kevin. He's really feeling it from three-point range now. All of a sudden, it seems like he just can't miss.
Going back for a second, your comment, Steve, and the standoff these teams played to last year, it may have been an indicator of how closely matched the teams in the middle of both conferences were.
Well, we know these 2 teams were certainly closely matched.
Good on the shot.
Fantastic pass. He turned that one into a pretty easy basket for his teammate.
And a chance now to go over to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Mike Budenholzer.
One struggle they'll have in this game is finding the right person or combination of players to match up with Dirk. The problem, coach says, is how do you play someone who can hit jumpers at such a high release point while being quick enough to stay with Dirk when he drives? We'll see if they've come up with any answers, guys.
And thank you for that, Doris. Here's Williams after Dirk Nowitzki's bucket. Williams passes to Teague. Kicks it to Horford. Gallenberg's there. Here's Williams. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Nowitzki. The dish now to Ellis. And it's blocked by Teague. They push it up 4-on-3. Korver kicks to Williams. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Fans don't like that call one bit.
Well, the officials got an earful as a result.
Let's take a look at Monte Ellis, some of the stats for him. Good season for him last year, 4th in steals, and he became a real offensive threat, one of the top 15 scorers in the game.
He also managed to be top 5 in steals as well, Steve, and that was significant. I mean, he was really good at lulling ball handlers to sleep, giving them kind of a false sense of security, and then he'd pounce on it as it was being dribbled to the floor. And he got a lot of his pilfers that way.
Harris kicks to Murray. Pass to Ellis from past the arc. Rebound by the Hawks.
Well, Mike Budenholzer, you know, the new coach of the Hawks, spent 19 years with the San Antonio Spurs, including 17 as an assistant. Well, you couldn't ask for a better teaching ground than that.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Williams kicks to Teague. Back to Williams. Pass to Millsap. 4 on the clock. Teague fires from the wing. And that one's good. And back to Budenholzer, who was with the Spurs for 19 years. Steve, the Spurs, the winningest team in pro sports over the last 15 years.
Yeah, I'm glad that Budenholzer has finally gotten his chance. I played for him for 4 seasons. He's a guy who loves the game. He's very dedicated, hardworking, and has learned from probably the best coach in the NBA during his time in San Antonio.
Here is Williams after the made shot from Gallenberg. Williams dishes to Korver. The basket is good off the assist from Williams. Korver's got 12 points in the game.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Boy, the field goal percentage is fantastic. Exactly the kind of start they were hoping for.
Millsap with the steal. Williams passes to Teague. The shot is off. And the Mavericks going the other way now. Nowitzki kicks to Harris. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
It's been a very efficient first quarter for him. He's creating good opportunities and converting those that he creates. This last summer, the Mavs asked fans to submit some redesigns of their uniforms for future use. Always kind of neat to see when a team and organization reaches out for the fans' input.
4-on-3 break. Here's Teague. Here's Horford. And off the glass. That one's good.
Did you see the defense get caught standing around that time, giving up an easy second chance bucket?
Simply need more of an effort on the boards there, Steve.
Shots good by Ellis. And back to the Mavs, definitely a big move by them to reach out like that. Nothing like bringing crowdsourcing to the NBA and building a bridge, Steve, with your fan base.
Kevin, I had a chance to see some of the designs of the uniforms that were being suggested. Some pretty sharp-looking duds, but there were some other ones that were absolutely hideous. So let's hope the decision-makers in the Mavs organization pick some of the let's say the more clean-looking new uniform suggestions.
Vince Carter, he's checked in for Dallas. Atlanta on D. They lead by 4. Marion dishes to Nowitzki, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Nowitzki's got 8 points.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Yeah, they've been the aggressors, Clark, and getting the ball inside into that lane area has been huge for them.
Horford with a screen on Harris. Teague, the pass to Williams. And there's the call on Williams. That's foul number 2 for him. While there's a break in the action, let's take a look at the players who had the most steals in the league last season. Monte Ellis is 4th.
He showed such great defensive instincts last year. Just a terrific defensive play.
Back to Marion. He kicks to Ellis. Dallas moving it around. They now take the
Six
lead.
starters.
Carter's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Pretty much been the norm for them. Getting their points off assists and great ball movement.
Nice rhythm and flow for this team. Tremendous communication and alertness.
And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game.
Dallas usually does well against the Eastern Conference, and even in a year when they were struggling, that still was the case. The Mavs posted a 500 or better record against every division in the Eastern Conference.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Samuel Dallenberg is checked in for Carter. Ellington comes out for Monte Ellis. And it's Calderon in for Devin Harris.
Yeah, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
Here is Korver. He's got 12. Williams fires.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Feeds it to Ellington. Fires from deep. It's rebounded by T. Dallas did finish 41 up and 41 down in the year, with 17 of those wins coming, Steve, against the East. Not a bad mark for him.
And you'll remember last season, it was in March when the Mavs started gaining a lot of ground and kind of put themselves into playoff contention. And a lot of those wins that month came against Eastern Conference teams.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting pounded in there. The defense not offering much resistance. They've got to force the ball back out to the perimeter.
Now here's Williams. Again, the miss by Williams.
You know, well, the days of the Matrix putting up 22 and 12 with a couple of steals every night are long gone, but Shawn Marion is still a big factor for teams. He's such a solid defender with his reach and really causes problems in the passing lanes when he's out there active.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something, you're right. And at 35 years of age, Shawn Marion still an outstanding rebounder, top 5 among small forwards, and rebound rate last season.
And inside, he's very dangerous. He's got a lot of little funky shots, little floaters and runners. He does have the ability to step out and make a three, particularly from the corner, but it's really in the paint where he does his damage.
The Hawks made the playoffs again, but ended up losing in the first round to the Pacers in 6 games. Dropped the first 2 in Indiana, won the next 2 in Atlanta, but it all ended when the Pacers got them in Game 6.
And the Hawks making a change here. Eldon Brand's checked in for Horford. Jamari comes in for Kyle Korver. Jared Cunningham, he's checked in for Lou Williams. And it's Schroeder in for Jeff T. Atlanta with the ball. Jose Calderon getting his 3 to go. Schroeder, a finger roll finish at the button. Schroeder's got his first points of the night. Well, and for the Hawks, it's been 6 consecutive seasons with basically this group. Certainly Joe Johnson left as a free agent to Brooklyn. But Steve, they have yet to get past the second round in any of those playoff runs.
I think that's why they decided to part ways with Josh Smith and originally with Joe Johnson 2 seasons ago, just to make that next step, to start fresh. And they may take a dip here, but I think that the future does look bright.
Here's Nowitzki after the made shot from Schroeder.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
And that one's good, Millsap. And look at how the hustle game has been going for Atlanta.
Boy, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And we're also seeing a lot of fast break moves, so this team doing a nice job getting easy points.
And the Hawks making a change here. So it's the Mavericks now. They trail by 1. Calderon kicks to Carter. Fires for 3, but they recover it. He passes to Calderon. Carter defended by Carroll. Here's Ellington. Dallas again missing.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
The shot by Carroll, no good.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag.
And Vince Carter with the slam. This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
How frustrating Steve is over there.
I just, you know what, come on, I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
Here's Schroeder.
Almost blocking foul. How can you be blocking foul, man? That should be a guarding foul. Come on.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for
Don't
Dallas.
I like the fact they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
And don't forget about their three-point shooting, too, because that could be a major factor here tonight.
Easy buckets, guys, are best gotten in transition. The Hawks were very good in that department, and it's how they were able to be a playoff team even while losing the players that they did before last season.
The Hawks leading. They're running up the floor. And Carroll gets it to go. Carroll's got his first bucket in this one.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
And back to the Hawks, would end up third overall in fast break points. You know, Steve, as soon as they got a rebound, everyone knew to fill a lane, and they could certainly finish at the rim.
Well, they had a point guard who really loved to push the ball in Jeff Teague. So that seemed to be the right strategy for this club. Of course, they've gone through a lot of changes in the offseason. I think they're in a situation where they're trying to grow. They added Paul Millsap, but this is more about the future than it is about the present.
Here is Carter, following the score of Elton Brand. Lets the three fly. Vince Carter the bucket on the assist by Calderon. 8 points for Vince Carter.
A little confusion defensively.
Yeah, you know what? He sent the D a little message with that three.
Schroeder off a pick from Scott. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here.
And a chance to look at some of the numbers for Jose Calderon. Very nice season for him last year. First in three-point shooting. And his passing skills were on full display last season. He was in the top 15 in the league in assists.
And, you know, you also brought up his number one ranking in three-point field goal percentage. I mean, that says a lot when you can combine assisting and knocking down threes. It's a heck of a combination.
The Hawks making a switch here. Ion's checked in. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time. Hawks ball. Atlanta's gone 4 of 8 on their three-point attempts, doing a lot of work from way outside. Here in the first quarter. It's stolen by Calderon. And here we go. The Mavericks in a fast break. And it's Carter missing.
And already we've got a very lopsided edge on the board for them.
Yep, +5 in rebounds. That didn't take long. Beautiful lead pass there. He let his teammate run right underneath it.
35 seconds left to play in the first. Calderon for three. Rejected by Schroeder. Calderon kicks to Ellington. Carter. Dallas moving the ball around. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
Now, he hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Puts up the baby hook. And it's sent back by Carroll. And he recovers it from deep three-point range. And Jose Calderon hits from deep. Calderon's got 6.
Oh, man, what a shot. He hit that one from another time zone.
Oh, man, guys, it's unbelievable to see him pull up from so deep.
The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. The Hawks.
Tune in for a scary night of
And off we go. A close game now starting the second quarter. And what do you guys think about the Hawks here in this one?
I was impressed with their transition game, guys. They really got out and ran the lanes.
Yeah, they did. I mean, no better way to get easy buckets than through fast breaks.
Carter dishes to Blair. Passes to Lito. He feeds it to Carter. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Atlanta's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. And let's now go to the sideline and catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, it's hard to imagine Dirk Nowitzki playing on a different team than the Mavericks. And he said he wants to finish his career in Dallas. But he's also definitely unhappy with just playing for the 8th seed like they did last season. He said, quote, "I will never forget the 2011 season. We were the underdog in just about every series, and we came out winning it all. That still brings chills down my spine. Other than that, I don't play for anything else." Guys, he's itching to get back in the hunt.
We'll see how it plays out. Thanks, Doris. Clock at 6. And the Mavericks making a change here. Ellis is checked in. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Ion off the pick from Carroll. Ion passes to Cunningham. Just 5 on the clock. Doubled by Blair. Pulls up on the elbow. Good as the jump shot falls. Cunningham's got his first points in this one.
You know, typically he's just a role player, but when he does score, it allows the offense to be more balanced. For a little while in the recent past, it seemed as though the Mavericks were becoming a slowdown team, but last year they got back to running and gunning and ended up being one of the best offensive teams in the league.
Lou Williams is checked in for Jared Cunningham. Mark, as you said about the Mavs, 6th in the league in fast break points, and a lot of that was due to their passing, Steve.
Yeah, when you have Dirk and the other bigs that they have, they can get a break going in a hurry if you don't back up defensively. So it wasn't a surprise that they were up there in both fast break points and assists because of their fluid nature offensively.
Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
Larkin kicks to Blair. The pass to Larkin. The feed to Ellis. This is to Wright. 6 feet out.
That's foul number 2 on him. It might not warrant sitting him entirely, but another one before halftime, they could be in some trouble.
Al Horford, he's checked in for the Hawks.
And I think the lead they've built here, guys, is in large part due to what they've done on the boards.
Absolutely. I mean, they have a plus 10 advantage in rebounds, and they've been in total control of the backboards.
And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Here's Larkin. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. Larkin's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Well, Monte Ellis is one of the top slashers in the NBA. He is a devastating finisher in transition. And for a guy who's on
गेम को बैंड करते हैं बहुत देर हुई स्ट्रीम करते हुए और अच्छे से मैं देखूंगा कैसे क्या होता है उसके बाद स्ट्रीम करेंगे थैंक यू गाइस फॉर वाचिंग थैंक यू गाइस फॉर सपोर्टिंग मी टेक केयर एवरीबॉडी सी यू टुमारो देन it's been a ride.
Basketball season has returned.
It's been a long time.
Stop for the streaming. Take care everybody. Bye. See you tomorrow.